on dreads.
Multiple piercings.
Donnie's credit
Billy
card.
Donnie's credit card.
She's brand designer, everything. That sounds like my kid.
I love it. Even when the photos aren't great, the descriptions are wonderful.
Wait, is that Donnie in the background?
Yeah. His Viking look.
Oh,
Broomhilda.
Wow.
That's Elizabeth in the background.
That's his Ren Fair outfit.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Here you
Yeah,
go.
there you
Oh, I have a feeling my daughters would be way more scandalously clad.
Probably true.
Probably true.
Harry Potter world. They're at a Renaissance fair. That ain't Harry Potter world.
I know.
Not at all.
That's right.
Still good.
Close enough.
AI's doing its best.
AI,
It
man.
kept telling me not to use words like Harry Potter or Hermione Granger because those are like copyright issues.
Yeah. And your daughter only has one friend, I guess. So that's her entire group of friends right there.
Friends. That's right. She networks like you do, Donnie.
Right.
Oh, he's got a son.
That looks more like a baseball bat than a freaking wand.
It does.
I was gonna say that's a two-handed wand.
Yeah.
Friggin', that's like Hagrid size.
That looks like his broomstick broke. 15, full hair, but definitely Slytherin with hair that has now turned red.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. My kids are Slytherin. Actually, I'd probably be cursed with a freaking bookworm.
You probably would.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Here comes the older. Here comes
like
the older
Angelina
kids.
Jolie.
She's smoking a cigarette.
Pissed off, like a pissed off Angelina Jolie. 25
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
This is your future, Donnie.
Wait.
What is this?
My kid turned
guy
Asian.
doing?
My kid turned Asian.
They're twisting
Lost his red hair.
That's what I was like. What is
Yeah.
this?
These AI photos,
Peyton,
man.
Peyton, what are you actually typing in the comments?
I just figured that by 25, your kid's got a mugshot.
So instead, he's twisting his nipples.
During
Bars
lunch.
apart.
You know what? We should have titled this segment "When AI Goes Bad." Is what we should.
Right?
Yeah, no shit.
That's the next one.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Wow.
STN.
Oh my God! It's an SCN T-shirt.
Oh, it sure is.
No.
Why?
Oh wow! What has happened?
Pushing Donnie in a wheelchair.
He's
And that's,
Wait, that's Donnie.
that's Donnie
Wow.
in a wheelchair. He let his hair grow out, I
Yeah.
guess.
Wait, can we keep this picture as Donnie in a wheelchair forever?
Donnie in a wheelchair. I think this is something we should keep. Yes.
Wow.
Basically, she
Beautiful.
is Donnie.
You
Wow.
told you told Sharon not to cry today. She's crying because she's laughing so hard up there.
But twice Donnie has been depicted as a girl.
Oh,
Not-
maybe the universe is trying to tell me something.
Actually, the fact that it's only twice is rare.
Oh dear.
Oh, there
Yeah,
it is. Remember
This is your
the
daughter.
index finger.
That's
Remember what the
She's
index.
25, guys. She's 25. She's still
She's
saying it.
supposed to be doing this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Remember what the index
She's
finger
supposed to be
means.
flipping you off.
oh my gosh.
Bella took her
Helen
finger, flipped it off the camera, both
Flipping off the
fingers,
camera,
and should have
both
said
fingers,
that
and straight
sucks.
this is dead. Sucks. I love it. Amazing.
Welcome to Fatherhood.
Oh wow.
Good.
Oh,
That took a turn.
No, wait, hang on. Before you put the description up there, is his daughter now the guy with horns?
quite possibly.
All right.
Appear both in Renaissance figure out girl drinking out of a goblet, boy drinking out of a big horn, both flipping the bird.
That's
Wow.
hilarious. Terrible
Oh,
goblet.
Too funny. Thank you for that, Peyton.
Wow.
Well, Donnie, you now have a photo album of your entire family.
Your entire
Yeah.
family. This is what you can expect.
Wait till next Monday.
I'm dead. I can't actually do this anymore.
Because I'm
You know what? What inspired this was I'm looking on the wall to my left. There's a bunch of pictures over there, and my daughter, when she's 14, is a cheerleader and purely beautiful blonde hair, like an all-American girl. And then I get a picture from her last weekend in her makeup and her garb and her black and red hair and her tattoos and her piercings and everything else. And I'm going, holy shit, how did that much change in 10 years? And I'm like, well, I wonder if Donnie had kids. I wonder what they would look like.
Yeah.
Because Peyton and I talked about, right?
Some of these with Elizabeth.
His kid would be the exact culmination of Genevieve and Lila.
Yes.
Wild.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun. Thanks, Peyton, for the laugh.
Yeah, that was good.
All right, ready for it, Sharon? You ready for this one?
Sure.
This is Sharon O'Sullivan Fung, the powerhouse behind O'Sullivan Fung Executive Assistants. Sharon started her company in March of 2023. She prides herself on not being a virtual assistant, but instead being an executive level support system. Her current business goal is to increase revenue by 10% by the end of the year. And today she gets the hot seat with the Success Champions team.
Wow.
Oh, that was pretty cool.
I have a question that has nothing to do with anything, but I'm just interested. Sharon O'Sullivan Fung. That is a very interesting combination of names.
Yeah.
Her husband used to be a fungus, and they dropped the us.
I have the actual answer.
What's the answer, Donnie?
Because she's Irish and she married a Chinese guy.
Yeah.
Really?
Mhm.
I love that.
Legally,
Oh, nice.
legally, my name is Sharon Fung, and I'm very much a traditionalist. I love being a Fung. I am a Fung, really. What I found is, and I found through the years that because when I'm a Sharon Fung, everybody thinks I'm Chinese, and obviously nothing wrong with that, but it actually impacts sometimes your interactions with people.
Yeah.
And when I started the business, not in a negative way, it's different. People expect something different. So when I started the business, I deliberately put O'Sullivan in there because it just speaks to who I am, because I'm not Chinese culturally at all. And so I threw it in there. So I just use it in my business, but legally I'm Fung, and I like being a Fung. I like my husband. He's cool.
I like it. And by the way, if Keith and Bernie ever had a kid and he grew up,
Oh, geez.
that's what
Oh,
ChatGPT came up with. Sorry.
I'm pretty sure that guy owns a pizza place.
Yeah, right?
Probably a few.
Yeah, he also has a game.
Wait. Okay, hang on. If Bernie and I had a kid, which one of us had the kid? I'm a little
Hey,
confused.
I'll let y'all figure it out. We're in 2024 now, so anything fucking goes.
Oh,
So, holy hell. All right. So Sharon, well, sorry, I was fucking around with ChatGPT, and y'all don't know how good I am with Dolly, so y'all stand by for some shit coming y'all's way. So,
Oh, boy.
Sharon, quickly introduce yourself, freaking who you are, and then tell us what can we work on and help you with today.
Yeah, so I am Sharon O'Sullivan Fung. I have been working, I started my business, like Peyton said, back in March. I'm a fractional executive assistant. I love working with dynamic CEOs who are overwhelmed by work, and I come in, I'm an extra head, extra hands, and I help them move things on an executive level. What you guys can help them with today, one thing I struggle with a little bit is there's a huge world of virtual assistants out there. A lot of us are rebranding ourselves and saying, well, we're actually this, and we give ourselves a different name, but people aren't stupid. They still see executive assistant and they go, oh yeah, she's a virtual assistant, right? Even though I have it nowhere on my LinkedIn. And I find that sometimes it's a barrier to networking. I adore networking. Just love it so much. I've learned so much since joining SCN, and very often I just want to get to know people. I really want to just expand my business circle. I want to bring value to people, to my clients, and to people I network with both. And I want to be seen as a valuable networking partner. But sometimes just getting on the call is an issue. And I have literally people who will write to me and go, why do you want to talk to me? You know, I don't want to waste my time. And I try my best to kind of go, no, I actually just want to network, see how I can support your business. And it's just nothing, crickets. And I think it's because, unfortunately, business world has been saturated by virtual assistants. there's many of us. There's many brilliant virtual assistants, but there's a lot of really terrible ones. And also, we are awful for cold calling and for like I personally get messages all the time, like cold messages from virtual assistants saying, "Hey, can I help you?" And that's what people are used to seeing. And I guess what I struggle with a little bit is just see the cold connections and getting people to actually talk to me. Usually, if someone talks to me, it's great because I don't like pitch at all. In fact, if I get through the call without pitching, I actually love that because for me, it's about building.
Okay, so the biggest issue is you're an executive assistant, not a VA.
Yeah.
For the record, you're my executive assistant.
Which really surprised me when she said she liked working with dynamic people. I was like,
right.
Right.
Well, I'm setting a really low standard for her as she goes further.
So basically, she's looking for enough other clients so she can ditch your ass.
100%.
Really what we're trying to get her to.
100%.
Okay, great. Right? I'm just glad.
Peyton's like, so why Donnie? So, but the biggest hurdle is in your mind when you say executive assistant, people flinch and think you're just trying to pitch them services.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So my question is, when did you become a financial advisor? That's what a financial advisor does every time they try and introduce themselves is they flinch. No, in all seriousness. I have a firm belief that the only people that actually flinch are the people who say what they do.
Right. Yeah.
They're so used to other people flinching that they come across so timid in nature that they force people to flinch.
Yeah.
It's because they're struggling with what they're trying to describe themselves. And it usually comes from some place of confidence, if you will, or it's coming from some place of, owning what they actually do and who they are.
Yeah.
So I'll throw that out there, then kick it over to you guys. What are your thoughts on this overall? Then let's go to work on see if we can make her cry for other reasons other than laughing so damn hard.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're in a saturated industry, right? When you get in a saturated industry, even myself, you guys know my rules, right? If you're not in HR or SCN, you're not on my calendar. So luckily for you, you're in SCN. Right. But a lot of people have those type of rules where they only meet certain kind of people. And how do you get around? There's ways. People have gotten on my calendar that don't meet that criteria. Right. Mm-hmm. But it's people that engage with me and bring me value. And then my guard will come down a little bit and say, okay, this is an interesting person that I could probably network with. Let's have a conversation. But it's all about networking.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's also about word choice. Like just not how you describe yourself, but even if you're cold outreaching to somebody, if you use the words, I just want to know how to support you or support your business, that sounds like a pitch to me. And I'm automatically out because you as an executive assistant do support somebody's business. So to me, that word choice is bad for you.
Yep.
Because it's going to sound like a pitch already just because of what you do. So I think really thinking about crafting a cold outreach message that doesn't include words that make it sound like what you do is actually going to help you.
Yeah, I quite literally got 5 messages, cold outreaches, DMs on LinkedIn that said exactly that from virtual assistants last week.
Yeah. Get them all the time. So I think it's really thinking about how do you say to somebody like, hey, I would just love to get to know you. I work with a lot of business owners who I need to make connections for, like, hey, I've already got people. I'm trying to make connections for them, instead. I think I'm not the wordsmith, but I think wordsmithing something would help because just you saying that, just like instinctively to me was like, oh, so you're trying to pitch me.
And I think,
can I just respond to something Donnie said there at the beginning?
Yeah, sure.
So Donnie said that the people who flinch are the people who don't know what they're doing. And the funny thing is they're the very people I want to talk to because I want to get them into SCN. So when they flinch like that, I'm actually more like, hang on, just talk to me. If you talk to me for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. And that comes across like desperation when that over the top passion is what kills a lot of people
Yep.
because they don't know you yet. They don't understand what SEN is, right, as a whole. So when anybody hits you
Yeah.
with that kind of now, passion sells, don't get me wrong, but that type of passion is like somebody just became an MLM and now they want to get everybody into the MLM.
Yeah.
Right. So I think who you specifically work for is a important integral part of introducing yourself. So there's a difference between saying I'm an executive assistant for business owners and versus I'm an executive assistant for CEOs.
Yeah.
Right. That is two different level of people.
Okay.
And so if you say I'm an executive assistant for CEOs and I'm looking to connect to see if I can introduce you to other business owners, right? It changes the dynamic of the reach out.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're literally saying, I'm not trying to sell you, business owner. Right. I only work with CEOs.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Well, and I think there is, it's such a great point because there is a difference between the word CEO and business owner. And there is a difference in how people perceive that.
Yes.
Right. When somebody tells me business owner, I think solopreneur.
Yep.
And I'm like, they don't have anything for me. When somebody says CEO, I assume they have employees. I assume they're a larger company and I'm more likely to take a meeting. I will meet with a CEO every day over a business owner every day.
Okay.
So I do think that word choice matters a lot.
And the same thing with like, if they say entrepreneur, you know, they're a solopreneur because entrepreneurs don't typically call themselves entrepreneurs.
Nope.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So, and I think a lot of it is, how often does it happen in person?
I mostly do online.
Okay.
Yeah.
So does it happen like when you're in networking meetings with a bunch of people?
No.
So
I did once ever, but not in networking groups. People usually in networking groups are quite open to it. It's been a few times like when I've asked for introductions to certain people and because I want to connect, as you know, like I'm looking to connect with Canadian businesses, really want to get them connected with CEOs and stuff. But it's typically LinkedIn. I get an introduction and sometimes it's within the group chat or they'll take it off and they'll go to the side and like privately message me and go, are you going to waste my time kind of stuff. They say it in a nicer way. But I think your suggestion of wording is actually brilliant. And the weird part is when I say I want to support your business, I was thinking it sounds like I want to pitch and yet I still say it. And Stevie has to say to me, Sharon, stop saying it, even though I'm you myself, I shouldn't be saying that. But yeah. And
I'm also looking at your LinkedIn profile and it says, I help small business leaders free up time, energy, and headspace.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody thinks you're going to pitch.
The word help. We never use that.
Yep.
Okay.
Goes away. Don't use help. Don't support.
So
nobody likes those.
What's the overall job of an executive assistant?
The overall job is basically you need to get to know your CEO's business really well. And you need to get to know your CEO really well. You need to keep track of all of the things that need to be done. And you need to stay, depending on the CEO, but very often you need to stay in constant contact.
But hang on, go back. What are those things that you have to get done for them?
It depends on the CEO, but nearly always it's inbox management, calendar management. Often it is things like helping them set up calls, set up events. Sometimes it's lead generation. Sometimes I'm finding contact information for the CEO. Sometimes
so it sounds like you're helping them manage their time.
Yeah, exactly.
You're time management specialist.
Exactly. I'm helping them manage their time and I'm helping them get things done that they don't normally get done. Like I will actually, the CEO will give me stuff to do, but I'll also, because I know the business and I know the CEO, I'll come and say, do you need me to do that? Like, it looks like I need to take that off your hands, or why don't we try this?
So let me try this really quick.
Level I would bring.
Let me try this really quick, Sharon. We'll start with Stevie. Stevie, what would an executive assistant do for you?
Okay.
Oh, for me?
Yep.
I need reach outs to associations for more speaking engagements. So it's cold outreach and managing my LinkedIn because I'm terrible at it.
Cool. Bernie, what would an executive assistant do for you?
Definitely both of those that Stevie just said. I think managing my inbox, helping to set up virtual events would be huge. Follow up with clients for additional collateral, stuff that they don't send me when they're supposed to. Those would be huge.
Keith, what would an executive assistant do?
The two biggest things I need is managing my inbox and my calendar.
Mhm.
So I think you, Peyton, I wouldn't even.
Peyton, we know. It's okay. You don't even know what you need. Yeah, you're fine. You're
Peyton's like, run my company. He's typing fast now. So what I think you need to do is actually start positioning yourself from that perspective. So it's something along the lines of executive assistant to CEOs, let me manage your inbox, or I manage your inbox, manage your reach outs, whatever it is specifically to what you're actually doing for them.
Well, and I would say also, this is your opportunity to niche down and get specific, right? Because if you're doing most of your work on LinkedIn, then say that. Become a LinkedIn specialist at this stuff.
Yeah. And you can disqualify the solopreneur because right, they're not ready for that yet.
Yeah.
They're just not. You need people that are growing and scaling their business because now time is becoming more of a precious commodity than anything else, right? So now their inbox is full every single hour and they've got to manage that process. Their calendar is getting out of hand because there's so much coming in, which is a great problem to have. So you can definitely start to narrow that focus of where you're looking and who you're looking for to manage those 3 to 5 things that we just mentioned.
Well, I think it also is, it's important to say what you don't do. Like, I know for a fact you don't do graphic design. You're not doing social media content, right? None of that stuff. And I think people need to understand that. So for me, if I'm going to put a profile together, I think that some of the things I say is I don't do Canva, right? I'm not creating your social media calendar. I'm managing your personal calendar, your personal inbox, actually freeing up time so you can go run your company.
With all the fractional titles out there today, do you think it would be possible to call her a fractional assistant?
I'm okay with fractional at the moment. I wonder how long before fractional gets worn the fuck out.
Yeah.
It will. There's always going to be a new verb that comes along that replaces that stuff. But for right now, fractional seems to be kind of a hot button.
Yeah.
I like to use the word executive because I don't want to be somebody I sit in the background, you hand me tasks. I want to be there helping you. I know you don't like the word, but coming up with ideas with you. I annoy my CEOs.
What does the word executive add?
What's that?
What does the word executive add?
It means that it means I'm assisting at an executive level, right? I'm not in a back office somewhere. I'm walking with you, seeing what you're doing with your business. And when I'm helping you, I'm actually thinking about your business goals. Like, if I'm doing this for you right now, you're paying me, where is it taking your business? And I actually won't let you waste your money on me, right? So I'm not kind of like sitting there going, just give me like tasks or whatever. If I'm managing
so something you need to hear, because you said a word that's driving me nuts. You say you annoy your CEOs. That's what they're fucking paying you for.
Yeah.
Right? Is to annoy us and make sure, because your biggest job is to hold us accountable to the things we need to get done and manage our freaking time. So
100%.
You're being paid to annoy the shit out of us, even though you don't annoy the shit out of me, right?
Not
doing your job.
Realize that publicly. I annoy him.
She does me, and I'm staying on my payroll.
Actually, she annoys me about you, Donnie, all the time.
Well, that's what I'm paying her for.
Me to annoy all of you. It's actually what he pays me to do.
100%.
I don't have time to annoy them today. Can you annoy them? No problem, Donnie. It's easy for me.
I'm like, will you do everything, Sharon, just to keep them away from me, off my calendar, right?
Just bug them, please.
So, but I think that's what is going to continue to set you apart is the accountability side of things. The calendar management is Del Zico Consulting says, right? The ability to handle the inbox and be able to give me a rundown. Like, I mean, just so you guys know, my inbox now is just a series of folders. where she goes through and just moves shit into the right folders. And some said, please read me. These are invoices. These are certain people. So I can quickly go into my inbox when I remember to, and check things out.
When I see that he's been invited to a barbecue, I always make sure he knows, because I don't think people should miss that kind of thing.
Well, Donnie could afford to miss a few barbecues.
Right. Well, thanks.
Nobody can
No,
afford to.
that's Keith, not Donnie.
Right. Well, and the same token, Sharon's also managing all the podcast reach outs, get me on shows. She's managing all the stage reach outs, get me on stages, handling all those conversations as they come through. So there's a lot more happening than what would be a virtual assistant you hire for a task. Right. You hire them to create a social media post. You hire them to write an email campaign, not manage your business.
Yeah. I always think of that old terminology, right? The jack of all trades, master of none. To me, that's what a virtual assistant should be. Somebody that could dabble and do just about anything I ask them to do. But the whole part of being the expert at what I do, that's still my responsibility 100%.
Yeah.
Well, and I do think, going back to something Keith said, I do think I understand the need to call yourself an executive assistant. I do think that that's a little bit overdone. And I think that, right, if we look at actually the history, the difference between the executive assistant and the assistant was when we actually had large corporations. An executive assistant helped the CEO, and other assistants were for lower level managers and leaders, right? So the reason you went executive is because you were with the CEO. But if all you're working with is CEOs, I don't know that that really says anything. I think it's an overused word that really means very little to people. So it might mean something to you, but doesn't mean something to your customer.
I think your first line of your LinkedIn profile should say, "I'm not a virtual assistant."
I love that, actually.
Right?
Really?
Yeah,
that's all the
100%.
pattern up. Yeah.
That's a solid move.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because you just said, right, people are not talking to you because they think you're going to pitch them because you're a virtual assistant. So if you go out there and you boldly state, I'm not a virtual assistant.
And I would even go so further to say, I'm not a virtual assistant. I don't do Canva. Right? Just to really sell it and send it home, and then say, I manage your calendar, manage your inbox, free up your time so you can go run your company.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really eye-opening for me last week, honestly, Sharon, when Donnie told me that after a year now, he still doesn't know what I do, because I didn't explain it properly, or the way that I was explaining it didn't land for him. And so, your being an executive assistant, that has certain connotations for people, right? They do know what that means. So you need to be able to explain what you do in a different way so that not only do you not cringe, but they don't cringe or flinch.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and I think, also to that point, knowing exactly what you do, but exactly what you don't do, right? I think is also, yes, I think they think secretary. I agree with you. So I think, it's thinking about what do you do and how do you describe it quickly and clearly so everybody understands, right? So that there isn't, I know that you can do a whole lot of things, but that is never how we want to introduce somebody, right? We always want to introduce them for the one thing that they're really great at, or the two things that they do. But when somebody is like, well, I could do this for you, or I could do this for you, and when I work with this client, I do this. Yeah, that's great. That's you running your business and doing what you need to do for each client. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when you're introducing yourself, all that does is make you sound like a secretary.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
Well, actually, the time, the first time I realized that I was an executive assistant was the first time I met Donnie, right? And Donnie said to me, there's a bunch of CEOs out there and they need moms.
That was a real
I was like, but he was like, I was like, exactly.
Because
I don't know how to express that to people, but for me, my strength, and I'm learning a lot of skills as an executive assistant, but my strength is my passion and the passion I have for my CEOs and for their businesses, right? And that's what a mom is, right? They have a kid and they want their kid to succeed, and they don't coach them at, in basketball, but they find the best basketball coach and make sure they get to the training, right? They keep the kid accountable. They make sure they're well fed and everything is in order, and they have their lunchbox going to school, right? And that's kind of
wait. You make lunch? Hold on, I'm totally missing out on shit here.
Yeah, I don't do that for you, Keith. Sorry. The equivalent to your lunchbox is me checking your inbox. Okay.
Sharon, I think you got to be a little. I think you got to be a little bit careful about the word passionate and having so much passion up front, because you're scaring a lot of fucking people.
But I'm Irish.
Right? But hey, I know, I understand. But hey, listen, people will know you're passionate about what you do. It'll come through in everything you do for them, right? So when you tell people I'm passionate and I'm this, you're scaring the shit out of people.
What's wrong with you guys? I love passionate people.
I do too. Listen, you can ask any one of my clients. They know how passionate, they know exactly how passionate I am about what I do. And they love my response time. They love the communication we have, right? They know I have a passion, but I've never once told anybody I have a passion for this, right? Because you become overbearing up front, and people need to get to understand you and know you before that personality trait comes out.
Well, and I think I feel like so much of what we're telling you is just really watch your language. Not in like a bad way.
Not like Donnie's. Not like Donnie's.
Not like Donnie's. Watch your language. But
yeah, I know what you mean. I get you.
Because even you saying like you're a mom, like I love that. I get that. And I definitely need somebody to mom me in my business. I have no problem with that. But if you were to actually pitch me that way, I would say no fucking way.
I haven't
done
that.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, even the words you use matter, because even as you're talking to yourself, those are going to slip out in conversation. You have to talk to yourself the way you need to be talking to clients and potential clients. And so even when you say, well, I know I'm passionate and I know I'm a mom and I know I'm going to, I want the best for you. Those are all things. If you're saying them to you, you're going to say them in a meeting, not meaning to.
Right.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I do like the phraseology, the word behind I want to see you win. Right.
Yes.
Where let me take the things off the plate so you can go run the business. I want to see you win. Something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Keith.
You can't use this because it's Jerry's, right? And Jerry's got my favorite tagline ever, right? My clients don't lose.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Now you need to come up with something similar to like that, like what Donnie just said.
Yeah.
Right. My clients don't lose. When he said that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I fucking love that.
Yeah.
And trust me, Jerry will beat the hell out of you and make sure you don't lose.
Which is what Sharon should be doing, is beating the shit out of her CEOs so that they get more than 100% of what you promise them. Right.
Yeah.
Which is time management.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right.
No. Yeah. I think there should be more knowledge and lessons taught by you out there of why people should be hiring someone like you. I think a lot of us have this fantasy idea of, man, wouldn't it be great if somebody could take all this off our plate? Right. We all kind of have this whimsical thing that, man, if somebody could just do this for me, I could go do this. Right. If they could get this one thing off my plate, I could do whatever. I think you need to start talking about that, posting about that, of what they should be doing in their business, but what they're not, the things that they are doing that are keeping them from going into things like, in my case, I should be on more stages. I should be on more podcasts. I should be finding
less
more
on Canva.
Yeah, 100%. But Sharon doesn't do Canva, so that doesn't fucking help me.
I know. But you just need to be told to do less on
Canva.
That's why he has. So he can do more on Canva.
Right. She's freeing up my time to do Canva.
You should have a story about this whole thing, right? The top 5 things that I've taken off CEOs' plates so they can better run their business, right? And then put a story behind each one. Number 5, right? Manage inbox. And by managing their inbox, I've been able to get CEOs back 20-30% of their time every single day so they can focus on running their company. Right. Number 4, managing their calendar and making sure that their personal calendar, their work calendar is all managed properly so that they can manage their time again. So, but find the top 5, top 12, whatever things that you do to help with the company, and then create a story about each one. right? Your
Mhm.
passion for everything will come through in those stories.
Your passion or pashing. I don't know what pashing is.
What
but what-
Pashing.
Pashing.
This is a special thing I have. I might put it on my LinkedIn profile actually.
I am so
Instead of saying
passionate.
passion, I'll say
I'm a
passion, and
pashing
nobody will
person.
notice. Yeah.
I am passion that I am not a virtual assistant.
Passion.
Pashing.
That's
Chinese-
Keith's new
that's a
nickname.
Chinese
Way to
name.
go,
All right.
Pashing.
Oh, yeah, that was the Chinese. That was the Chinese version of
Yeah.
passion.
Way to go, Pashing.
Yeah.
But I also think just to circle back to something you said at the very, very beginning, right? Why are you trying to connect with people? Right? It said in your little intro video that your goal was to grow your revenue. So that means getting you clients, right? Yeah. So that means finding other people that need what you have. Mm-hmm. But there was also a bit where you kind of talked about wanting to get people into SEN, which is not the same thing.
Yeah,
yes?
It is. No, it is.
And how does that work for you?
I love SEN anyway, right? But it really works for me because if I have a really strong network, I'm going to be a better executive assistant. Okay. Sure. So that's what I'm doing. Secondly, the more people that like me and know me, especially when I like pull in the pashing a little bit and be a bit more, when I improve my how I present myself and stuff like that. And I think the more people that see me, know me, like me, I'm going to get connected with the CEOs, right?
So I think, Sharon, you have to have a two-way strategy here, right?
I know I have a two-way strategy.
There's nothing wrong with networking is amazing, but that's your long-term strategy.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Networking is not going to move the needle in your company for 12 to 18 months. So I think what Stevie's trying to get at is what's the short-term strategy to move the needle on your revenue? Because networking is not.
I already, the thing is, so my short-term strategy, I have to get, right now I'm actually working on like solidifying what I have because I already got a ton of clients all of a sudden, right? My goal then is to take on 2 or 3 more. And that's all I really need to do. And I already have people that I can bring in.
Okay.
Right. So I'm not actually concerned about finding the clients.
Okay.
I think I will. I am going to strengthen my game so that I can make myself have a good wait list. And you know what you can do when you got a wait list, right? Yeah. People want your services, and charge more.
Well, that's great. It's there. And So like Keith says, like the networking is a long game, but it's a big, big part of being an executive assistant, right? For sure.
Because I meet the CEOs, but not just the CEOs. I meet the people who can help the CEOs. And so the CEOs talk to me and I'm like, I know this person and this person. I know who you need, right? And that's what I want. And I want to establish some credibility as a business owner. I'm only a year into my business. Right. That's a big part for me. Yeah. So, and so the 10%, it's actually not a huge goal. I actually gave Peyton a few goals. Some of my bigger goals really are like growing my LinkedIn and growing my reach in that way. Right. So I think a big part of me is really like strengthening my business profile.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and just the only reason I bring it up is because like, as we talk about like doing cold outreach, right? Cold outreach to people talking about SEN sounds like an MLM and I'm out.
No. Yeah, no.
So just being thoughtful about how you're doing that and what you're getting them for.
I'm going to challenge that one. Now, granted, it's a selfish challenge, but I know several presidents of our groups that reach out and ask people to come visit the chapters that have that has literally landed a shit ton of business that didn't even become members of the groups.
Yeah. No, I think there's a way to do it, but just again, and like I was just combining a bunch of different things she said there at the beginning with, I'm super passionate. I just want to get everybody into SEN, and I went, that's too much.
Yeah.
And that's overwhelming. And that does sound like you're going to pitch us every 5 seconds. So I'm just trying to make sure we're giving her advice on where she wants to go. Because
this is helpful
she
to me.
said in the beginning, and then I feel like we took her off tangent.
I'm curious, Sharon, when you finally get someone on that virtual coffee, you're trying so hard to get as many people as you can, because a very wise person once told you to go meet 500 people, right? So when you're meeting those 500 people, what's the goal of your virtual coffee?
I'm going to get into trouble for saying this. I want them to join an SCN chapter.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You're
That's
not
a
gonna get
perfect
involved with that.
answer.
Yeah, well,
There's an answer for the CEO that pays you that is on this podcast.
I know it sounds like I'm just sucking up to
Is
Donnie now, but but the thing is, as soon as they come into a chapter that I'm in, then I see them every single week.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that your
And
only
even
goal?
if they don't come to my chapter and they go to another chapter, I'm always around on SCN. I'm annoying. I'm always saying hello to people and like hanging. I've got no friends in real life. My only friends are in SCN because they're all so fun. So anyway, no, I do have real life friends. But
okay,
yeah.
Is that your only goal for that virtual coffee though?
Right now, that is my goal. And in that, I do ask for introductions as well.
Okay, let's stop right there.
Okay.
Let's stop doing that. Right? Your goal should be to bring them as much value as you possibly can. Right?
Yeah.
That's your only goal.
Yeah.
SCN is part of that goal, because if you're going to help them learn where to network and how to network and who to network with, right? You're bringing them a shitload of value. And I love that part of it, right?
Yeah.
But that should be your goal, is how do I bring the person on the other side of my camera as much value? And every person's going to be different.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You can follow their social media, you can make some solid introductions for them. And as your network grows, you can make even better introductions. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And that is something that I am working on. I really want to do that. I was initially fairly good at introducing referral partners. I need to be more mindful of referring clients. That's exactly what I want to do. And that's something I need to work harder on.
Well, I think also always remembering we don't always have to refer people that are going to do business. Sometimes we refer people to grow more networks, right? Yeah. Good networks grow other good networks. So sometimes it's not well, I know that Keith needs HR connections, so I'm going to send him an HR connection. Sometimes it's, I know that
it's pushing. It's pushing, not Keith.
It's pushing. Yes, sorry. I know that pushing needs HR connections, but I have this person over here who maybe is a financial advisor. And so somebody that you would normally go, I'm not sure that's a good connection for Keith, but I see something else that they're going to need from each other. And that's the reason to make the connection. Right. So,
and that brings me a shitload of value.
Exactly. And I think that's also important, because I think so often what I hear from people when they go networking is that, well, I don't have any of those, like, when I say I need to be introduced to association directors, and they're like, well, I don't know any of those. Well, I know that that's not who you know, but there are these other things that you could still provide value on, right? So we also want to be thoughtful that we're just helping people create stronger networks as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I struggle sometimes when I meet someone. I'm going off circle now here. I only get one question. I'm asking a ton. I struggle sometimes when you meet people and they're like, oh, I'm so busy, I don't need to meet anyone, right? Like I don't meet, but for part of me is like, I really think like it's always good to meet people, because not only, like you said, sometimes there is something valuable even just to learn from a connection. You don't know where that's going to take you.
Well, if somebody's so busy that they don't have time to meet with people, then they just need to hire you, because obviously they're a little busy.
They shouldn't be on the call with you in the first place if that's their answer.
Yeah,
I find that really odd,
right?
Yeah, I've had people say that to me before, but the question that I like to ask people, right, is where else do you network? Right? We met, at some In This Together roundtable, or we met here. Besides that, where else do you network? Right. That's my go-to question. Because then they'll say, oh, BNI or H7 or whatever it might be. Right. I'm like, have you heard of Success Champion Networking? Like, no.
Yeah.
Right. Now I can go down a rabbit hole and talk about where I network.
It's such a great opening question, because it doesn't sound like you're going to pitch. It sounds like you're actually like you're saying like, hey, where do you network?
I'm naturally curious person, right? So I ask that question from the standpoint of maybe they're networking somewhere where I should be networking.
Exactly.
Right. So being very curious and opening up that conversation to them. Now we're having a two-way mutual conversation, and neither one of us is pitching each other.
Yeah.
right?
I love
We're just
that.
continuously bringing value to each other like that.
Mhm.
So that's how I kind of get those conversations flowing. And I don't know what the number is anymore. I know it's over 30, but I have 30 clients now that either were a member of SCN, visited SCN, or used to be a member of SCN. Because I'm a firm believer that the people that I network with, right, I bring them, the people that have virtual coffees, I bring them to where I network because I want to build that know, like, trust factor.
Yeah.
It takes time.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a long game.
That's a good
It
one.
is, and there's an awful
does
lot
pay
of
off.
learning in it.
Well,
So-
Sharon, I think at the end of the day, we just want to know that you're going to grow big and huge and leave Donnie in the dust. I mean, that's really what I want to hear from you, because that would just make me happy.
Stevie, I've had
when you
one-on-ones
fire
with
Donnie,
you.
when you eventually fire Donnie, can
We
you
have
invite all
plans.
of us there?
Hire Donnie, will you come back on here and tell us about
Yeah.
it?
Can we do it? Can you do it live on the show?
Guys, I don't cry enough already on my own stages. You want me to cry on a live too? Jeez.
Yes, absolutely.
Holy hell.
Freaking Lily.
Holy hell. So, all right, Sharon, really quick, we've hit you with a lot of things. What's kind of your biggest action item takeaway from this that you're going to implement and employ?
Yeah, my biggest action item coming from this actually is I'm realizing I need to work hard on the words that I'm using. I've always known that about myself because I talk a lot, and I get very excited about things. But as a business
don't say that,
person,
Sharon.
no. But the interesting thing is Keith said, like, I know, Donnie, I'm not allowed to say nice things about Keith, but just hear me out. Like, Keith said there that his passion comes through. But when I'm in meetings with Keith every week, and he always says stuff. And when Keith speaks, he sounds like he knows exactly what he's talking about.
Oh,
Like,
he's making it up as he goes. Trust me.
He's really good
He's
at
full of shit.
If he's making it up, he's doing a really good job of it. I know I'm
Thank you.
great. Like, I know I'm great. I'm just really bad at saying it. No, but I just, and so it actually, like Stevie and Keith, what you're saying to me about the words I'm using, thank you. That is something I am going to have to work on because that's where I struggle. I'm not great at that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Sharon, thanks for joining us on this. It's been amazing. Guys, let's go around quickly. Let's hit events, and then we'll get everybody off on their Mondays. So what events do y'all have coming up, Stevie?
Webinar next Wednesday, 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time on empathetic communication. And would love to see everybody there.
Nice. Bernie?
Nice. Got a few private events this week, but one that is public is Disruptor Discussions with Miss Jennifer Fry. We have Shoshana French on the show this week, so
That's awesome.
looking forward to that.
That's
Very cool.
awesome. And then this Thursday, for members of SCN, we're doing collaborations and how to actually take all these people you're networking with and actually turn them into real collaborations that help each other grow their businesses. So it's going to be a fun topic to teach. Of course, we got the Badass Business Summit coming up September 18th through the 20th here in Fort Worth, Texas. Got a lot of really cool things coming down with that. So it's going to be a really damn time. So if you haven't got your tickets, get over to badassbusinesssummit.com and get them. So any last parting words?
No, Sharon, you're amazing. Just keep going.
Yeah.
Right.
Steve. Thanks
I've
for
never
great.
seen anybody come into the network and run as hard and as fast as you have.
Yeah.
So just keep doing that. Keep making mistakes because that's how we're going to learn.
Yep.
So,
And keep
Nice.
doing things that screw up Donnie, because that just makes us happy.
Oh, don't worry. Donnie's been really nice in this call about me. Something is screwing up.
I am. I mean, no.
I love it.
Awesome.
And nice dog, Bernie.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah,
What
that's,
did
bingo.
you say?
That's red.
Red. That's a cool name. So,
Oh, red.
all right, guys. Well, we're here every Monday. We do this, put somebody in the hot seat, give them a hard time, laugh, joke, have a lot of fun, make fun of Keith every chance we get, and try and make Bernie cry. So, but come back and join us every Monday. Hang
For all
out
of our
with us.
pushing.
Yeah, and,
Yeah,
and
Everybody have a great day from Pushing.
so, dude, that's going to be his nickname from now on. We're going to call him that. Now on the main stage, Pushing.
Pushing.
It sounds like a character from Kung Fu Panda.
Right?
Look out, Pushing.
Or a bad stripper. I mean, on the main stage, Pushing.
You got to do the
Bazinga.
SH with an X now to make it truly Chinese.
Right? Well, but y'all have an amazing week. We will catch y'all on the flip side. Love you, mean it. See you. Bye.
Bye-bye.